So it's the tail end of mimosa season here in the south of France, but I did manage to make it down to do a little demonstration of how to make candied mimosa flowers or crystallized silver wattle flowers or whatever you'd like to call them. Before we get started, I thought I would take you to the Mimosa Festival in the aptly named Bormes-les-Mimosas. They call it the Corso, and this year was the 100th anniversary. I was dying to get down to see it, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you. I hope you enjoy. Once we're through the parade, we'll start with the crystallized, the candied mimosa flowers, so feel free to skip ahead if you don't care to see the parade. Okay, so here I am walking up. I've been walking straight uphill now for about a half an hour already, trying to get to the village because it's closed off except for a little train. And what's funny is that the security, they took away my selfie stick I was planning to shoot the floats with. They didn't realize I had secateurs, pruning shears, in my purse that I've been planning to use to get some mimosa later. So it's kind of funny. Anyway. Looks like the floats are getting ready. Finally made it up.
Bien, mesdames, mesdemoiselles et messieurs et les enfants, bienvenue à toutes et à tous ici au cœur de Bormes-les-Mimosas pour les 100 ans du Corso fleuri.
So after the Corso in Bormes-les-Mimosas, here I am with a wild mimosa behind me that will enable me to avoid taking any from someone's yard. Here's a nice fresh bunch, and here I go with a secateur that that security failed to take when they took my selfie stick. Let's head back down and make some candied mimosa. So there are a few things that we'll be needing. Beginning with mimosa, of course. You don't need a whole lot. An egg white, water to mix with the egg white, sugar, and something to dry them on. I used foresight for once and brought a pizza pan, which is sitting on a bowl, but you can just as easily use parchment paper. So, thoroughly dip the mimosa flower in the egg white and then in the fine sugar. You want very fine sugar. So if you can't find fine sugar, it's very common here in France, then you just put your sugar in a food processor or blender. There are a few other things to keep in mind. It's obviously easier to dip them if you leave a bit of stem. But mimosa flowers do fall off easily, so it's best to snip the stems with scissors rather than try to pull them off. Also, They turn out better if you do them one at a time, but you can save time by doing 2 or 3. Just try to avoid dunking the stem in the egg mix to avoid glopping. If you do several at a time, be sure to snip them apart before they're completely dry, or you risk losing your hard-earned sugar coating. Leave them overnight in a warm, dry place. An oven with the light turned on works just fine. So there you have it. Sugared mimosa flowers. They last a few days, so why not consider putting some on cupcakes? Think of them as nature's sprinkles, or simply with a cup of espresso. I have another idea for you using pink pepper. I just happened to come across some while I was looking for the mimosa flowers. I will be doing that next, so if you haven't already subscribed, please do, and hit the little bell so you'll be notified when the recipe comes up. Thanks, and see you next time. All comments and likes are greatly appreciated.